What's up, Bruins fans? I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins have signed unrestricted free agents Elias Lindholm and Nikiata Zadorov. Lindholm has been linked to the Bruins since before the trade deadline last year, and in fact, the Bruins tried to trade for him twice. The Bruins didn't have the assets the Calgary Flames were looking for last year to pull off a deal, so Calgary shipped him off to Vancouver. Vancouver then had buyer's remorse and looked to move him to Boston, but the deal fell through according to insiders. Not sure what the deal involved, but if I had a wager, I guess Jake DeBrusk would have been heading to Vancouver. Lindholm is a two-way center that isn't going to fill the void by Patrice Bergeron because honestly, no one can. But he is a true number one center for the Boston Bruins, who is a significant upgrade for them at the position. Last season, he was playing on the third line for Vancouver in the playoffs, but that was because they had an embarrassment of riches down the middle, and they used his defensive awareness to have him be a shutdown guy. Lindholm last season got only 44 points with 15 goals and was a down year for him. The previous season, he got 64 points, but wasn't in trade talks and consistently being asked about his contract. We know this can sit heavy on players, and I would think Lindholm was no different. In the playoffs, Lindholm was one of Vancouver's best players and proved his worth. In 13 games, he got 5 goals and 5 assists and was dominant for Vancouver on and off the puck. Vancouver had him playing in every situation, including out there to win key faceoffs. Lindholm signs with Boston for $7.75 million over 7 years, so the Bruins have locked him up long term, and he will be 36 years old at the end of the deal. I'm not going to here to say I love the contract, but sometimes you need to pay to get the player your team needs. Lindholm feels like a perfect fit in Boston based on his style play, and I can't help but wonder where he fits in the lineup. Does he play with Pasternak or Marchand? If he plays with Pasta, I couldn't help but think that means Zacha would be moving to the wing, and the Bruins would need to find another center. If he plays with Marchand, Coyle then would be moved down to the third line and have a new role after a career year with the Bruins last year. I guess the last option would move Zacha to the wing. Coyle slots in as your number 2 center, and I think you put Lindholm and Pasta and Zacha and feel that line would dominate. Pasta would have guys again that can allow him to make more aggressive plays offensively, knowing you have a guy that is so responsible in his own end like Lindholm. The last time Pasta had a centerman like that, he tied Matthews for the Rocket Richard Trophy. Zacha's puck possession skill would allow room for the whole line, and I would think Lindholm would have a career year in Boston. While I was talking about him yesterday, but the rumors were correct, and Nikiata, Big Z Zadorov, is a Boston Bruin. I can't help compare him to Chara as they have the same nickname, but let's be honest, he's going to need a new nickname. Zadorov, who is 6'6", but plays like he's 7 foot out there, but oddly enough, isn't a bad skater. The Bruins need help on the back end on the left side with the departures of Matt Grzelcyk and Kevin Shattenkirk. Zadorov's style play is something the Bruins have been lacking on their back end the past couple of seasons, and certainly could have had a huge help for them against the Florida Panthers in the playoffs. Zadorov is a big body that is great off the puck and is dominant in front of his own net. During the playoffs, the Panthers took runs at everyone, including Swayman, and with Zadorov in the lineup, those liberties wouldn't be as frequent. Zadorov is coming in at $5 million per on a 6-year term, and isn't a bad deal for the Boston Bruins, and does give them room to do other things. Zadorov doesn't have a huge offensive upside, but what he lacks in scoring, he makes up for defensive awareness and snarl. I'm interested to see where the Bruins put him in the lineup, as they already have Hampus Lindholm and Mason Lohrei on the left side. Lohrei emerged as an NHL regular during the playoffs last season, but maybe this will help him to put Zadorov on the second pair and move Lohrei to the third pair to get better matchups. To have Carlo play with Zadorov would be an embarrassment of riches and fantastic shutdown pair. Lohrei playing with Peak would be a good complement to each other and allow Lohrei to control the play on the back end, knowing Peak is there to move bodies and being that stand-up D-man back there. Parker Witherspoon would be your 7th defenseman, which is the perfect spot for him and wouldn't hurt you coming off the bench. I think instantly Zadorov would become a fan favorite for the Bruins fans, as they always love a guy with sandpaper. With the 2 signings, the Bruins still have around $9 million in cap space to work with, so I would assume Swayman probably eats up around $8 million of that, so maybe Sweeney has more moves up his sleeve. That wraps up the video for today. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If the news breaks surrounding the Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. I'll see you next time.